What's up, family? It's your girl Bree. Welcome back to my channel. Know that God does everything for a reason. So if you're here right now, this message is for you. We are in the middle of my Valentine's Day series. It's February, the month of love, and today I wanted to talk about being single and waiting patiently for your season to not be single. So, this topic comes from me personally. For a very long time, I've always wanted to have a person, my person, my man. And I see that that is not, something that's uncommon. A lot of women actually desire to be married, to be in committed relationships. And so that was me. I honestly, not gonna lie to y'all because I like y'all, I love y'all, and I want to keep it real. I honestly was like desperate to have a relationship for a very long time. I put my identity into finding a relationship. And like I said, I'm not alone. I know so many other women, we don't want to be alone. So we want to find our person, especially someone like me. I stated in previous videos, I spent a lot of time being by myself. So I figure having my person that I want to spend the rest of my life with would make being alone better, because I feel like if you have a person, you have a man, you don't really need friends. That's a lie, honestly, but I felt like that for a while. Like, I don't need anybody outside of my boyfriend or husband because he is my best friend. And that's just how I saw it. Like, I wanted to be in a relationship so bad so that I can have a best friend forever. So with that desperation and my story of how I grew up basically being so isolated and alone, I was desperate to have a relationship, and I would overstay my welcome. I would allow things to go on that I wasn't really happy with because I didn't know who I was, I didn't know my purpose. All I knew was that I didn't want to be alone. So I was desperate. I know, I know. It sounds really bad, but I had to let all of that out so I can let you know that a relationship is not the end all be all. And on top of all of that, I was a people pleaser. So that's like digging a deeper hole for myself in the dating world. But I'm happy to say I can sit in front of you and say that that is not the story for me anymore. I healed and I got into my self-love. Make sure y'all check out the self-love video that came right before this one. It is very helpful. But I took my self-love and my inner work very seriously, and that is not how I think anymore. So I wanted to tell you guys, ladies and gentlemen, to embrace your single season because it will not last forever. If you are a follower of Christ, you read your Bible, you take your relationship with God very seriously, or you inspire to, and you know that you have a greater purpose, and if you hear watching this channel, it's only a matter of time before you embrace the fact that God chose you. So if you love God and you desire to be in a relationship, it's going to happen. I have been witnessing God's work in my life, and I literally see that everything I pray for, everything I ask for, I receive. And God doesn't tell you when you will receive any of these things, but when I look at my prayer journals, prayers that I've written down months ago, I clearly can see that everything that I wrote down and prayed and asked God for, I've been given. I am living in my answered prayers at this moment. So with all this proof and all of my desire to be in a relationship, I know that I will be married one day. I don't know when, but it's going to happen. And the same for you. That's why I said, if you're a believer, you believe in God, and if you're chosen, it's only a matter of time before God reveals these things to you. But you have to do the work. You have to do the work. I know I'm always talking about all of the good things that are going to come to you if you focus on your relationship with God, but it's work that needs to be done. You have to read his laws, you have to read his commandments, and it's a way that you have to live your life in order to receive these things. Like, you can't expect to receive a husband if you are currently in sexual sin. You can't expect to get anything that you're praying for if you're not living a life pleasing to God. So he's not going to give you certain things, and you're not going to live the best life that you possibly can live if you're not pleasing God and doing the work. So I just wanted to put that out there. Like, there is good things to come, but you have work to do. It's not just going to come to you. You have work to do. Well, I completed a fast, and the video on fasting is coming because it's so powerful and it deserves its own video. But I'm going to touch on what it did for me in this topic. I completed a fast about 2 weeks ago, and I set my intention to God that I wanted to be freed from idolatry, idolizing a husband. Idolatry is a sin, and I was idolizing having a husband. So I wanted to be freed from that. And I also fasted to be freed from my addiction to social media, because that's another form of idolizing. I was putting a lot of attention on that, and my attention on social media and on finding a husband was in the way of my attention of getting closer to God and reading my Bible and growing in my knowledge and growing in the spirit. So I fasted to be freed from those two things. And I'm fasting, I'm hungry. And he revealed to me two beautiful things on these topics. And I'm going to touch on the idolatry for a husband. I'll touch on a social media one at a later time. But he revealed to me during this fast, a marriage is permanent. So whoever you end up being with, whoever God has for you, is a permanent situation. Now, it's kind of hard to have that mindset because we're so used to people playing in our face and having to move on and things not working out. Divorce is at a high rate. So it's hard to think about a relationship being permanent when you have all of this proof that relationships are not working all around you, all on social media, and probably your real life as well. So it's kind of hard to think and imagine that a relationship is permanent. But in the Bible, it says that a wife should never leave her husband. Marriage is forever according to God. So the only way to get out of a marriage is death. So till death do us part is 100% real. That's the only way as a man and a woman to ever be married again, through death. Marriage is forever. Like, that is a bond, that is a tie that can never be broken according to God. And this is something that we should all be striving for forever. So you should carry yourself with the mindset that this relationship is forever. And get out of the mindset of being in a world where things typically don't work out, but put yourself in a world where God wants you to be at, where everything lasts forever. And so he revealed to me to have that same mindset. So now, instead of me looking for a boyfriend, I am looking for a husband. That is plain and clear and simple to me now. What is a boyfriend? Boyfriends are not in the Bible. It's husband and wife. So my mindset now, moving forward, is husband. And it's crazy because I've always had that mindset. I'd always say I'm dating for the intention to be married, but I didn't really live up to it. Because if I did live up to it, I wouldn't have settled for less than what I deserved. I wouldn't have settled for being cheated on and stayed. I wouldn't have settled for giving my all to a relationship that is dead. I wouldn't have settled for not being honored by the person that I honor. I wouldn't have stuck around through so many red flags just to say I had somebody if I was really dating for the intention to be married. Because you don't want your marriage to be filled with stuff like that. Dating to marry is walking away whenever things are not for you and accepting the fact that this person is not for me. It's just not gonna work. He or she is not done sleeping around with other people without trying to change anybody, just accepting it and walking away in the dating phase. Like being able to walk away when things are not going the way that you need them to go is very important in the dating phase before things get more serious. Like, and the sooner the things happen, the better, because you know that you're not wasting time and you can move on. Like, you let that man be who he is, you let that woman be who she is without trying to change them. If that person is not for you, you just walk away. And because you're not married, that's the easiest thing to do. You just walk away. So God revealed to me to take your time, to embrace and enjoy every second of this single season, to get to know who you are, to get to know what you need out of a marriage, to get to become the best version of yourself without any interruptions. He revealed to me, like, do you even know what you're asking for? Do you not realize that this is forever? When you're married, your body don't even belong to you anymore. The two become one. You cleave to each other. So do you not know that? Do you not understand how deep this is? You don't belong to yourself anymore. You have a whole other person to live for, to live with. And the purpose is to build family. So if you know right now that you're not ready to have kids, or you don't know if you even want kids or not, you shouldn't even be thinking about a relationship and a marriage anyway, because the main focuses of being in a marriage is to build families, to be fruitful and multiply. So if you're not the family kind of person and you don't want to have any more kids, then maybe you should reconsider if you want to be married or not. To be able to form the closest relationship to God you've ever had without distractions is a beautiful thing, especially if you have no kids. Like, I'm single with no kids, so I have all the time and space to focus on my relationship with God. It's probably gonna sound weird, but God is currently my husband. Like, I am submitting to God, I am surrendering to God, and I can do this in peace. So if you're single, focus on God. Focus on becoming the best version of yourself that you've ever been. Focus on that self-love that I talked about in the last video, and really embrace these moments, because like I said, they're not going to last forever, and we don't know when God is going to bless us. We don't know when. So it's better to stay ready so you don't got to get ready. You can meet somebody tomorrow, fall in love. And I've heard stories of people getting married within 3 months. I don't know how it lasted, I don't know how it went, but I've heard stories of that. And I believe it's possible. So when it comes to God, know that there is no limits. And you may have proof that you're not good at relationships, but God can intervene at any moment and change everything. Whenever you do start the dating process, it's really ideal to just take your time. Like, this is the person that you're gonna be with forever. Really get to know this person. Like, slow is fast in dating. Whenever you take your time, it's gonna seem like no time passed. No time was wasted. Whenever you meet the person that's your life partner, I'm sure it's gonna feel like your best friend, and you desire to be with this person all day. And if that's not where you are, then maybe that's not the person for you, because you gotta think about it. Marriage is forever. So the person you meet that is your person, you have to be able to coexist with them for the rest of your life. Like, this is huge. So you really, really have to make sure that you can be with this person. You have to spend time with them in every season, when they're sad, when they're depressed, when they're broke, maybe when they rich. Every season you have to be with this person. And it's really good if you go through these things in the dating process before the marriage, because you get to see, like, is this person even worth it? Is he or she going to stick around when things get hot? So really embrace the fact that you have time. Dating is the part where you really get to see if this is it. And if it's not, be okay with walking away. Now, I'm not a man, so I don't know, y'all thought process when it comes to getting married. But I saw a post on Instagram, and I see a lot of people, a lot of guys saying this, like, it does not take a man 6 months to find out if you are his wife. He knows that within like the first 1 to 3 months, he knows that you're the person that he wants to be with. It doesn't take 4 years to find out if this is your wife. So, in conclusion, have faith, be patient, keep calm, and understand that finding your person is 100% worth the wait. 100%. So, don't worry. If you have faith and trust in the Lord, it's going to happen for you. Just be patient, keep calm, and focus on the things that really matter, which is your inner work and how you're going to be the best wife that you possibly can be, the best husband you could possibly be, the best mother you could possibly be. And just focus on those things, and when the time is right, it will happen. I hope that this video helps. I will see you guys on the next one.